Hello my friends, I am G Hondo and welcome back to our Let's Play of OpenTTD. This is episode 16. In episode 15, right as we left off, we had just set up this wood to Jehed or Gehed or whatever that's pronounced sawmill. And now we're just waiting for something else to complete so we can go ahead and build something new. So I'll go ahead and get going here. And as usual, as this is now my fourth episode for today for this series, I probably will do a slightly longer episode. And again, I hope everyone enjoys that. Like I say, if you want longer or shorter episodes, feel free to leave comments in the comment section below the video, and like I say, I will try to accommodate as best as I can. So these are such cute little trains. And it's going to haul 90 tons at a time, so it's only going to take 6 trips. Apparently this train here is not making me any money. Why is that? Oh, that's interesting. I've never seen that before. The oil completely dried up. I have never, in all the times I've played this game, ever seen that before. Wow. Okay, I didn't know that was a thing. I thought as long as you were servicing it, it may, dwindle down to a very low amount, but it would never completely destroy. That's interesting. Well, we're done that mission, so we don't really need to keep this going here. So what I will do is I will tell this not to do a full load so it can haul what it's got. And then once it arrives, I'll send it to depot and sell it off. Of course, it sat so long in the station. The other part, of course, is it may, as soon as it hits the depot, it may auto-renew. That's fine, I'm just going to sell it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But because it sat so long and the reliability is tanked down to 0, it's probably going to pop quite a few times along this trip. That's unfortunate. But I know if I tell it to go into the depot, we're going to lose this cargo. But you know what, at this point, it's not worth that much anyway. And we don't need it for a mission, so rather than wait for it to go all the way up here and all the way back, let's just get this train in and sold off. There we go, it has arrived. And yeah, so it automatically renewed, which meant I just paid for this. And now I'm just going to sell it right back off and get all my money back. But more importantly, we'll no longer get the pop-ups complaining that there's an unprofitable train. I do seem to remember that popping up the previous year and I ignored it. Because I didn't, like I say, I didn't actually know that a train, an industry could actually completely and utterly vanish if you were servicing it. So that is new. Not good, but new. Anyway, let's go ahead and put the speed up while we're waiting for something else to finish here. And then we'll see how we do. Which one it will be that will finish first? Probably the steel mill, possibly the mail at Grudchurch. So they're both pretty close. So rather than staring at that empty station, why don't we actually watch a train that's actually doing something? Say the Grudchurch Seating Hill train. wherever the actual train is. Oh, there it went. Gotcha. There we go. Now we actually have something to watch. How much is it? Well, it's hauling a decent amount of mail per trip, although it wants quite a bit, so still will take a while. Let's move along here. Yeah, I think we might end up finishing a couple of these missions pretty much all at once, so we may end up with 2 or 3 to do at a time instead of just one at a time, which is okay. I don't mind. At the very beginning we had 6 to do it at once, so I guess it's not really a big deal either way. Am I actually crossing a road somewhere? I heard the city. Oh, I am too. So this city has built this road out past my track, so now you can't really see them, but they've got a little road crosser to protect the intersection. I see we got a new mission, and it's already at 0%, which means it's one we're already doing, which is unfortunate. Well, in some ways it's fortunate, because it means there's no actual work to be done, it just passes by itself, but on the other hand, it's unfortunate, it means there's nothing new for us to do at the moment. And it was the wood one that finished first. Which isn't really a surprise, it didn't really want all that much, so I'm not really surprised that that one finished first. It didn't have much to do. Alright, just leave alone here. I guess we can watch these trucks while we're waiting. See what kind of horrible congestion I have in here. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But that's okay. And it can't really be, well, I shouldn't say it can't be avoided. It's difficult to avoid congestion on the roads versus, say, a boat will never encounter it because they just go wherever they want. And with trains, theoretically, you could always just add more and more tracks to reduce congestion. But with the roads, there's really not much you can do unless you build an entire second bypassing road, and even then, they may not even use it because it'd be a longer trip. Having multiple drop-off points certainly does help, but yeah, I'm still seeing a fair bit of congestion happening in here. But that's okay. We'll move on. We knew another electric, a new one. I'm going to let that run, and while that's running, I want to have a quick look and compare that to, go to none. I just want to compare the 30 to the 40. So it's again a bit more expensive, but it is a bit faster, definitely more powerful, a little bit more expensive, but overall a little bit better. So the next electric train I make, I guess we're gonna use the SH40 instead of the SH30. So I really do like the electric trains. And I don't remember if it's in vanilla or if it was in one of the mods I was playing with earlier. But I do remember there was a little tiny tram, like a little electric train called a doodlebug, which was just the cutest little thing. It made the cutest little noises as it went. It was very similar to the train we are already using on a few routes, the Manly Merle, only instead of it being a 2-car tram, it's just a single one. And I think it held about 80 passengers or something, and it was pretty good. But it was just the cutest little thing. I just can't remember for sure if that was vanilla or if that's from a mod. I think it was from a mod, so we probably won't get to see it. But if I can remember which mod it's in, I'll definitely add it back in for any future play I end up doing of this game. But like I said, I don't know how long this series is going to run, let alone when a new one would start. So for now, we're just cruising. We're having some fun. There's the air taxi, which is nice and all, but we're not terribly interested in. I'm doing a Grud Church mail here. Oh, there's some right there. It is so close to being done. Crazy, crazy close to being done. It's quite the long little trip I gave this thing. Kind of surprised I did it this way, to be honest, but that's okay. I'm sure it'll be fine. Unless, of course, it breaks down on me, but that's separate. Ooh, that is terrible reliability. And it's... well, it is about due for its next maintenance, so... where is that? Oh, that's the very next stop after this, so... that's good, because it clearly really needs it. Yeah, decent haul. Not bad at all. Oh, that's harsh. As it's pulling into the depot, it breaks down. Everybody get out and push! Yeah, I don't think so. Trains weigh just a crazy amount. Even on wheels, that's not something even a large number of humans is going to move. There it goes. It'll pop in and instantly repair. Fantastic. That's not so good. I guess this type of engine isn't really all that good. The old steam engines. Well, we're not really in a position to worry about too much. At some point we'll replace it with something better, but it's not a big deal. It's doing its job, and that's all I'm concerned about. It's getting what it needs to do done. Like a very good postman. It's bringing lots and lots of mail. I don't know if this will be enough to finish the mission, or if it's going to need to do that loop one more time. We shall see very shortly. That was enough. Fantastic. Alright, so now we're just going to wait for a new mission to come in. And while it's going, we're going to ache ever closer to completing this one. So while we're setting up whatever comes in next, we may end up setting up 2 in a row here, which would be nice. Gives us a much better chance of it being a new route instead of just another duplicate route. As those don't really add much to the fun factor. Okay, Busy Bee, give us. Yes, thank you for acknowledging that I completed the last mission. Now let's have a new one. Here we go. So, iron ore to St. Dunham, which appears to already be connected to a perfectly good iron mine. So that is very boring. Now it does want a fair bit, so I could, if there's another iron mine nearby, maybe I can add a second one in just to speed it along a little bit. I wouldn't really call that nearby, but there is one up here. Really not sure I would call that nearby, but I certainly could. It's not terrible terrain here, a little bit of hills, bit of hill here, there's a fair bit of hill. Yeah, that's not really ideal. I don't think I'm going to do that unless this mine actually ends up petering out, and then I'm going to have to, but otherwise I don't think I'm going to for this one. Well, that's a bit disappointing. But let's see if we can get something new. Yes, I know, thank you. Get something new that's actually a new mission. Oh, there's a competitor's plane. I thought that had failed. Is it still running? Yeah, it's still running. That's interesting. So even though the script has failed, it still is running. I guess the script just governs creating new airports and routes, but once they're actually established, they could just continue indefinitely. So I guess that's what it means when it says the script failed. It just won't grow anymore. That's producing so slowly. Alright, again, is there another one near here that we can supplement with? There is one here, that's not too bad. And that would... It doesn't have much production either, but at this point any little bit would help. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and build some more track here. And a station to connect it. I'll just come up, all the way to here. And much like what I was doing with the oil tankers, where I, instead of having the train, well, tanker, but in this case train, doing a full load at each one, I'll instead just have it visit each one, and in the time it takes to get to the next one, the other one has time to pick up more cargo for us. So we will, after this, go to here, and neither of you will be full loads. There we go. And there's a new oil tanker for trains. That's nice. Yeah, you were waiting there a long time, so. Well, you got a fair bit while you were waiting. Because obviously on this first trip there'll be nothing there because it's not been activated yet. But hopefully adding this in will help at least a little bit. If nothing else, this will have, because the train won't be just sitting in that station for so long, it'll have better access to its maintenance when it feels it needs it. So if nothing else, that should help. And I really do think it needs some maintenance at this point. Anyway. Yes, it definitely needs some maintenance, but that is at least where it's going now, so that's good. And a new goods truck that can hold 16 instead of 14 crates, and goes a lot faster. So that's nice. I could replace that one for this mission here, although it's already 2/3 done, so I'm not going to worry about it at this point. It's clearly doing well enough. Okay, so this is now active, so if we have a look at this, yes, it'll be generating ore for us. And meanwhile, this one has had time to generate a decent amount. A new truck for wood. We ended up using a train for wood, so we're not actually currently using any of those, so we're not really worried about that. Yeah, that's still pretty decent. Just with that extra time it takes, that's almost the same as sitting in the depot waiting, but it just feels like it's actually doing something, so it makes me feel better anyway. So these are, yeah, these Jinzus. I guess because they're just such old trains, because these are ones that are available in the 1950s. So even though it's a brand new one I'm buying, it's still very old technology, so. I think what I'm going to do off camera in between this episode and when I start recording again tomorrow, I'm going to play with the auto renew. Because I seem to remember there was a way to get it to set auto renews to not just, you know, replace a train that's, or vehicle that's over its service date, but also to switch it to a different version, like a newer, faster, better, what have you. And I know I've done it before, just it was a long time ago and I don't remember how, but I'll do that off camera, and then once I figure out how to do it, I'll take care of all that, and at the beginning of next episode I can just show you real quick how I did it for anyone who is playing this game as well and wants to learn how to do that. So that will be useful. Oh, this train just keeps breaking down. The reliability is terrible. Okay, what we're going to do, this maintenance stop is no longer optional. Frontwood, that's not one we're on doing. Okay, that's fine. But yes, that's one we were doing earlier, because you can see my station there. And it's now saturated with goods, so it simply will no longer accept them. So, I don't think we were doing goods to here, though. I think it was just passengers, so maybe that won't really matter. But if we did have anything coming here with goods, they would just stay on the truck or the train and would never actually see the light of day, and therefore never see any profit. It's very, very annoying. Wow, this is brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. And I wouldn't even be worried about it, except that's the one I'm watching, because it's so achingly close to being done. It's not quite full, but that should definitely be enough to put us over that last 1%, so... And hopefully we get a new mission that we actually have to do something with. Because otherwise, we haven't accomplished much so far in this episode. I was about to say, well done, it actually went pretty far without a breakdown that time, but as soon as I was about to say that, it had a breakdown. I guess I shouldn't have even thought about it. Oh well. Well, still not 100% full, but close enough. Oh, so close. So close. Oh, this is brutal. Okay, here's what we're going to do. That one will become optional again, and then we're going to add right after Cecily, so after it's come down this side right here, another option for maintenance. I don't want to leave those on forced maintenance because, like I say, I am going to figure out how to get trains to renew to a different and better engine, one with far better reliability. Yeah, this is terrible, and it's not even close to its service age, but it's just such an old design that it's shockingly unreliable. Come on, champ, you can do it. There you go. Drop off so I can stop watching you and stop worrying about you. There you go. That should complete. There it goes. Okay, now we can stop worrying about that. And we can see something new come in. While we wait, let's go over and watch the train at Ackley. Wherever it is. There it is. Just so we have something to watch while we're waiting for the new mission to pop in. is apparently going to take its sweet time, as it always does. Okay, not a problem. Ah, you finally noticed that. That's so nice of you. There we go. There's a new mission. Ah, our first valuables to a bank. Excellent. Okay. So, the trick to these types of missions is only this specific building wants the valuables. Unlike a passenger or mail one where you can go basically anywhere in the city as long as there's some houses, we have to make sure the station of whatever kind I use is close enough that its catchment zone includes this bank. Very, very important. Otherwise, we won't be allowed to actually drop them off. So, let us find something to do. Now, the other trick about valuables is they're not actually generated in a separate, how do I want to say this, a separate industry. It's not like, say, you have a forest that produces wood, you then haul the wood to a sawmill. What it is the banks just keep passing their valuables around between themselves. Okay, you can see it's weird. So basically I need to connect this bank to some other bank, and then they will pass their valuables back and forth. It's really kind of bizarre. But anyway, where's the next nearest bank? Okay. So what looks like I could do, because there's already several banks. It's going to be really hard to find though in here. But there's already banks in these areas apparently. Is this station... Well, this station is close enough to a bank. So Senham I could use. Because what I'm thinking I can do, I might be able to simply add a valuables car to the existing train and not have to build. So does that. Yeah, that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to add... Now this station here, it's close enough as well. Perfect. So I'm just going to take this existing train and send it to the depot to add a valuables car, maybe even two. So we'll ask it nicely to head to the nearest depot. Okay. It's going to be one of those, I see. Again, it's partway in, just didn't finish the job. Come on. Okay, you are officially in. Okay. Now I could say to auto replace, but I think that's all that would do is if this one was over, it would change it. What I actually want to do, and I don't know if I can do it without losing the routing information, but if it comes down to it, I'll just replace that. I'm okay with that. Is I want to replace this Jinzu, which have terrible reliability. Oh, yeah. So even in the 1950s start, they're already a 15-year-old design. Didn't notice that. That's pretty brutal. Let's find something much, much better. Probably the Floss, I think. Seems to be good reliability, good top speed. Fantastic. We're going to sell that off. Now, can I do that? Well, sort of, but I think it will have lost the routing information. And I need to add a valuables car or two anyway. Only holds 20. I'm going to add 2. This train is much more powerful. It can support that. No problem at all. And yes, it did lose the orders, which is a shame, but it's not a big deal. We can re-add those real quick. There probably was a way to actually just copy it without losing that, but I don't know what it is, and I'm not willing to spend a lot of time fighting with it, so. Brook. To Seeming Hill. And then to Grud Church. Yeah, we don't have a mission for that anymore, so it doesn't matter what order they go in. As long as they go to all those 4 cities, I am happy. We're not going to do full loads for anything. Well, I guess we'll call it Runbrook and Senham, just because those are the 2 names I can see. And I have a terrible memory, so I'm not going to even try. So, Senham, Runbrook, Mail, Valuables. and it's a loop. Okay, and with that, that one is green to go, and we'll watch this train for a little while, and then we'll call it an episode. This train here is, even though it's carrying the 2 extra cars, it'll still be much faster because it's more powerful and with a higher top speed. And if nothing else, its reliability is still decent, so we won't be stopping all the time. So I'll make sure I start seeing valuables here. I should. There probably won't be all that many of them, but I should get at least some of them. There they go. That'll work. And again here, there won't be any on this trip, but as long as we see them on starting to queue up. Yep, there we go. Perfect. So no, thank you. And Sealing Hill is the actual destination, so it doesn't terribly matter to me whether or not it gets new ones, but we might as well because we still make money off them. There we go. And now we need to go. Oh, there's a new coal truck. Sure. I'm not sure I'll actually use it, but sure, why not? Okay, there we go. So now it's going to go back to Senum and pick up. Well, it's pretty much full because I think we have it set to hold 40 bags of valuables. So we're not going to get quite all of them, but we'll get most of them. Yeah, so that's full. That's okay. So that means we won't be picking up any here. So I may end up having to add another valuables car or 2, but I'm not overly worried about it. It's basically 30 trips, and this one will be done if I don't make any changes. And that's okay, because these trips don't take that long, especially with the shiny new, faster diesel engine. I just want to see it drop off, and that the mission is starting. Oh, actually, there must have been a little bit on there. It already has noticed it. That's good. But let's just see it go to an actual percentage. Should be about 3 if my math in my head is right. Although with rounding it could be slightly off. But there you go. 3% it is. Apparently my mental math is not that bad. Alright guys, with that, I'm going to call this an episode. I hope you've enjoyed watching as much as I've enjoyed creating for you. And again, I hope you don't mind that the 4th episode of every day is a slight bit longer. I'm going to try and get them in the half-hour range. Today it's about 33, it looks like. So a little over that, but that's close enough. Anyway, I hope to see you in the next video. And again, I hope you've had a lovely day. And I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good day, everyone. See you on the other side. Bye now.